Hi, and welcome back. So, today we're going to be looking at Plat Chat's power rankings over the years because Bren constantly says these are power rankings, not predictions. I'm sure you've heard it. So, I figured, why not check? Are they actually power rankings or are they predictions? And the results are a mixed bag. Mixed bag. There's going to be a lot of numbers here. So to start with, the way I broke these down was I looked at groups versus whole tournament, and I looked at the immediate week after the power rankings for in-season power rankings, and then the rest of the stage, or however long it was until the next power ranking when evaluating the accuracy. So, this graph here, you can see all the events from 2022 and 2023 all the way along, and they're broken down by, was it a 1 week, the stage or to the next power ranking, the groups, and the tournament. Now, for the most part, you'll see the most variance was the 1 weeks, right? You've got a lot more room to be completely wrong or not at all. Things tended to average out fairly consistency across whole stages or until the next power ranking. But we had some pretty big outliers. I mean, the obvious outlier is over here in VCT America's week 6, where they were 100% correct on their predictions for the power rankings. But that's not what I want to focus on. What I want to focus on is the way too early tier list for lock-in 2023. This is the tier list that I think was made over 2 months before the event and before the rosters were finalized, or at least before some of them were, was 90% accurate. 90%. If I go along here and I find this event, which would have been 6, 7, right? 3 incorrect in the whole tournament out of 31 games. And the only incorrect ones was a legendarily, devastatingly bad performance by Team Liquid. Furia upsetting T1 and Loud beating DRX, which in hindsight should have easily been predictable, but Loud weren't who they are now. So, but I just want to say that is truly ridiculous and something I'm not sure they'll ever beat as far as those way too early lists, especially as these formats get fleshed out, right? It's spectacular. But on the whole, we only had what, 2 whole events, maybe one that was below 50% accuracy, and everything else sitting comfortably in the 50 to 70% range, pretty much. I mean, that's not bad for predictions. Now, obviously, you've got to consider favorites. If you're predicting Loud to be, MIBR last year, you're not exactly setting the world on fire. But, averaging 60, 70% is not bad at all. Now, if we want to look a little bit closer in at this, I've got, sorry for the wall of text, but you can kind of see the breakdowns of how the tournaments stacked up for each other and how many maps were actually predicted correctly. Right, so here you've got, 5, 6 games for a given week. Pretty good accuracy overall. I mean, excluding this one. But going on from there, not too bad. not too bad. And then when you've got stuff like this, over 25 games, a 72% accuracy, 20 games, 65, it's really, really not bad at all. And then you come to the tournaments, and sure, some of the playoffs weren't predicted amazingly, but you've got to remember that every mistake you make in the groups is compounded in the playoffs. So you'd expect this slight drop off as you go from each, or to be relatively similar. So, all in all, when you're looking at this, the averages are about 60%, 65%, which is frankly pretty damn respectable as far as power rankings go. So I don't know, is Bren right? Maybe, but it's certainly closer than you might have thought. And I'll leave